Welcome back to this edition of The Tax Lawyer. I'm Scott Drake on the Legal Broadcast Network, and my guest is Robert Wood with Wood LLP in San Francisco, California, writing in Forbes and other publications on a regular basis. Rob, welcome back.
Thanks, Scott. Good to be here.
One of the topics we've discussed frequently is innocent spouse relief, and the IRS has actually weighed in recently in a favorable manner on this issue, haven't they?
They have. It was somewhat of a surprise. I won't say a complete surprise, although I think it was better than most people, including me, expected, because they did show a rare side of being gentle and kind, which is sort of atypical for the IRS, as we all know.
Yeah, in this particular case, it was regarding the time limit to claim innocent spouse release, and actually the wording itself, as you suggest here, was pretty nice and lenient, totally uncharacteristic.
Yeah, so basically, I mean, the innocent spouse topic, as you say, we've covered before. People have joint and several liability, husband and wife, when they file a joint tax return. Married taxpayers filing jointly are each liable, and it doesn't really matter who earned what or who did what or who stole what or who hid what. It's all joint and several. So you get into these circumstances typically after divorce, but not necessarily always after divorce. They could still be married, where one party has disappeared, or one party, it turns out they have hidden income or gambling income or losses, and then sort of disappears, and one spouse is left holding the bag, so to speak. So innocent spouse treatment is the sort of the body of law surrounding that circumstance, and when is it appropriate to let one person off the hook, despite the normal rule that both people have joint and several liability. So what, as you say, Scott, I mean, the IRS just recently said, you know what, and oddly, they had been litigating this very issue for years and taking a very tough line. Even when courts were inclined to sort of back off of it, the IRS had been litigating and saying, absolutely, the claim for innocent spouse relief must be filed within 2 years of the time the IRS first tries to collect a bill. It's just a statute of limitations kind of concept, that if you don't file within 2 years requesting this, and there's a particular form you file to start the innocent spouse relief sort of dispute, when you've got to do it within 2 years. So procedurally, this is a big deal. Of course, I guess and so now they've said we're not going to enforce that 2-year line anymore. We're going to look more equitably at, do you or don't you qualify, Mr. or Ms. X for innocent spouse relief based on all the criteria that have always been relevant, but we're not going to put up this artificial 2-year barrier. Again, that's a huge step, and the service has said they're doing this retroactively, and I think that's another one. From a fairness point of view, that's important. That means if you were denied innocent spouse relief in the past, just because of this 2-year rule, you can now get some relief.
Well, that is absolutely fantastic, and certainly it seems from the IRS point of view a logical step, because a lot of times these issues come up down the line with a tax liability, and it takes people a long time to even establish it, right?
That's right, and of course also bear in mind that not only is there the time factor, Scott, but also sort of deception. It may be that the IRS has been trying for years to collect, and the putative innocent spouse, the sort of good party in the couple, has been unaware of everything because the wrongdoer has been throwing the mail away, or some of these cases, what I'll call the bad spouse is, sets up a P.O. box, down the street, so that all of the IRS mail notices and whatnot goes there, and sometimes there's sort of active deception, and it's it seems unfair, and I think is unfair to say, well, that 2-year clock has been running, and it's tough if you didn't know about it. So at least now it will be, this I want to stress doesn't mean innocent spouse treatment is going to be easier to get on the merits, but it does mean that more people on the merits will be able to present their case.
It's good news, Rob. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Rob writes in Forbes on a regular basis as the tax lawyer. This has been a service of ATG Trust. Thanks for watching.